with the phase 1 of a truce proposal. The Egyptian-Qatari agreement demands for a temporary cessation of hostilities between Hamas and Israel. This, of course, has been the go-to phrase, temporary cessation of hostilities. Now, the agreement also demands for a withdrawal of Israeli forces to the east, away from the more densely populated areas of Gaza and towards the border between Israel and the Palestinian enclave. Now, the Israeli airplanes and drones will also stop flying over Gaza for at least about 10 hours every day, and for 12 hours on the days when the captives are released. Hamas would then gradually release about 33 Israeli captives. And for every civilian that Hamas lets go to war, Israel will have to release about 30 Palestinian civilians who at this moment are detained in Israeli prisons. Now, for every Israeli soldier, woman soldier, who was captured and who will now be released by Hamas, Israel will have to release about 50 Palestinian prisoners. And then in the second phase of the truce proposal, there would be a permanent end to Israel's military operations and also for a full Israeli withdrawal from Gaza. There would also be another prisoner swap, this time involving all the remaining Israeli men, including the soldiers held captive in the Gaza Strip. The Israelis would be released in return as an yet unspecified number of Palestinian prisoners. The third phase would see an exchange of the remains of captives and prisoners held by both sides. On the development side, this phase would also involve a 3 to 5 year reconstruction period for Gaza, and perhaps more significantly, to an end to the Israeli blockade of the Palestinian enclave that they've put in a blockade ever since 2006. Now, Israel has said that it does not agree to the proposal, but that it will engage in further talks to try and secure an agreement, and this all the while pushing on with its assault on the Gaza Strip. Let's also take a look as to what is currently happening in Rafah. Rafah is Gaza's southernmost city and governorate. It borders Egypt, and before the war, Rafah had a population of about 275,000 people. And now, according to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for the Palestinian Refugees, there are 1.4 million Palestinians who've sought shelter there, and half of them are said to be children. An Israeli army spokesperson has said that it is evacuating about 100,000 Palestinians from Rafah. While the Palestinians have been asked to evacuate, the big question, of course, is where have they been told to go? Now, according to the RDF forces, this, of course, is the area, the one that you're seeing on the red, where the Palestinian is the place where Palestinians have been asked to flee. This is Al-Mawasiyah. And this displacement, according to the Israelis, will be temporary. Now, there were airdropped leaflets that stated that residents living in Rafah must immediately flee to Al-Mawasiyah. And this is what is happening at this moment, saying where the Israelis have further said that if people stay on in Rafah, then they are putting their own lives at risk. About 40,000 tents, which can each accommodate about 12 people, have been built in the Khan Yunis area for people who will have to flee from Rafah. Israel will also withdraw the Nahal Brigade from the Netzarim corridor, which cuts across Gaza, dividing it into northern and southern sections, and is now redeploying about 6 brigades with about 3,000 to 5,000 soldiers each to a base near Rafah. And according to various reports, the operation will be conducted with artillery, air and naval support, plus electromagnetic and intelligence operations that likely last many months. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.